G'day, this is Jim from Living Life Now. Today we'll be discussing health and wellness on longer cruises. Now firstly, it's very important to note that I'm definitely not an expert in this field. And I'm really just sharing with you today some personal reflections on what I'll be trying to implement as we go on to the World Cruise. As you'll learn through this video, I'm definitely not perfect, nor am I trying to be. I'm just a guy living life now. So let's kick off with preparation. Generally, I try to live a balanced life. And when I say balance, I kind of say it's a balance between gluttony and moderation. Sometimes when I fall off the wagon and eat rubbish and drink too much, and other times I can be very disciplined in my exercise and food regimes. So through this video, I'll be discussing what we're doing in preparation in the 12 weeks leading up to the cruise, and what we plan to do on the cruise regarding food, exercise, and mindset. It's pretty obvious here the difference between the mindset of a short cruise and a long cruise. Now on a short cruise, you're on holidays, 7 to 10 days, you're in gluttony mode. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm in gluttony mode. So when I go on a short cruise, I'm there and I get on, I might have 10 drinks a day. For some reason, I don't get hungover or as wounded like I would normally. I eat 3 or 4 meals a day. I have dessert every day, copious amounts of sugar. I drink a long black, but I'm likely to have 3 cups of coffee a day. So the body's a little bit in shock, but your senses are heightened, and that's what holidays are about sometimes. Well, they are for me. So for a long cruise, your mindset has to completely change from holiday gluttony mode. It has to move into your normal day-to-day sustainable health practices. And those sustainable health practices have to balance across holiday mode. So my sustainable practices are, I have a NutriBullet concoction of all the superfoods I've read about. I teach yoga twice a week and practice a few times a week. And I walk, do some cycling and do some swimming. I acknowledge everyone has a different base. All what I'm really saying is setting a goal and stepping it up a bit in preparation for the cruise. So let me take you through what I call my daily nutrient blast. Now, I usually make 2 of these at a time, but predominantly I'll have 1 a day, sometimes 2. So we've got celery in there, we've got banana, we've got kale and spinach, we've got some Brussels sprouts, I'll put a handful of nuts in there, chia seed, mixed berries, Vitagreens powder. So if I'm missing anything, the Vitagreens powder supplement picks that up. Have a lemon in there, that breaks down the flavour. It kind of breaks down the harshness of the greens. So I'd suggest always put a lemon or half a squeeze of lemon in each one, and a bit of ginger. All right, let's put this concoction together. And Bob's your uncle. I tell you what, it tastes a bit better than it looks. And yeah, the texture, because of NutriBullets, 1,000 watts, it blends it up pretty fine. And it's not hard to get down. And that's down the hatch, the old Bob Hawke style. And that gives me the brain power and the nutrients I need to get through the day. And we got one for Ron. Later on, that is. So how do we take this healthy habit onto a cruise ship for a longer cruise? Yes, the Princess Plus package does have juice included, but that's a juice. You miss out on all that good fiber from blending. So the other option is to get a portable blender with a USB charger in it. There's many of these on the market, and I suggest you do your own research. I decided to go for the NutriBullet Flip because it's got good storage capacity and quite a strong motor in it compared to the others. The downside of this unit, but, is a little bit bulky and heavy. The other thing you need to pack with you is storage containers. So you can go up and raid the buffet and put these items in your fridge for preparation in your own room. Trialling the NutriBullet Flip at home, it does struggle with fibrous greens, but blended most of my usual items with a little bit extra water. The other items I'll be bringing on board before leaving Australia on the world cruise is my Vita Greens and protein powder supplements. I'll be preparing my nutrient blasts in my room, probably after the gym, or preparing for a big day exploring a port. I understand that making healthy choices in the dining room or buffet really negates the need to do these juices, but the reality is I don't always make healthy choices in the dining room or buffet. And this is my way of balancing out those unhealthy choices. So now let's talk about fitness. So I believe if you've got sustainable fitness practices in your normal day-to-day life, you've just got to flow them into a long cruise. Now for us, we walk daily, as we said, I do a bit of yoga, do a bit of core and strength work through resistance. Now, what we're going to do in the preparation for the World Cruise is we're running a 12-week program to improve our fitness for the World Cruise. And that really involves taking our baseline and just getting a bit further. So we're walking a bit further and we're being more disciplined in our exercise and our preparation. Now, once we're on the ship for a long cruise, we'll do the usual. We'll increase our steps through walking, around the promenade, taking the steps where possible, committing to going to the gym. And if I can fit it in with all the other junk in the suitcase that I'm taking, and it's getting big, I'd also like to take my yoga mat or buy one in Perth before we leave Australia. So the 4 disciplines that you must take with you on a longer cruise is no different than you sustaining your fitness at home. And that's walking for your cardio fitness, that's Pilates for your core fitness, that's yoga for your flexibility, and some resistance training for your lean muscle mass. So if you balance those 4 disciplines out and be regular and consistent with your practice, you should definitely be able to maintain your fitness on a longer cruise, especially in some of these longer port days where you're really going to be out and about and knocking up those steps. And finally, we could talk about wellness. Now, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and I'm not here to lecture anyone. I certainly believe in live and let live. I was a smoker for 30 years. I still like a drink. I don't eat well all the time. And I certainly have my flaws. But what I do for wellness, I think it's a combination of a lot of things that we've spoken about today. But it's also comes into mindfulness. So for that, I use my yoga and I use meditation and breathing. So, and everyone's different. Some people are knitters and some people are natters and some people are card players and some people are book readers. But wherever you get your solace that you find in your own time, and it's something personal, you bring that onto a long cruise with you. And sometimes you find like-minded people. I'll probably be crossing a few divides. You might see me at the bar, you might see me at the gym, or tucked away in a corner, just doing some stuff by myself. Anyway, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up or leave a comment. Try not to be too nasty. And we'll see you next time. Hooroo!